Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
That's
Wow.
huge. Huge.
Do I sip it?
Go on, Dan. Go on, Dan.
Come here. Okay, I'm gonna go get her treat. Come on, Max.
No, it's just like literally glued shut.
Bro,
Look at this. Puta madre, echarle a la verga, men.
Oh my god! What an idiot!
Ah! Jesus Christ! Fuck off! Sorry, it's the last bit. Sorry, I went on with it a bit. Sorry about that.
We went shopping for a new bed, and this is what happened.
Okay, I used to be so nervous about like eating out alone, but I just came here and got a chicken sandwich all on my own and I don't care. Judge me, judge me.
Loser. Ja.
Look, no, I can't fall. Look.
Ağacı bana ver. Ver ver ağacı bana. Niye? Ağacı versene bana. Telefonunu orada.
Y'all can't tell me it's not beautiful here in Tennessee.
Pizza.
She just gave up.
Yo. Are you okay?
You don't miss it. What you fat it?
You want that, didn't it? Oh my god! Ellie, what?
Good morning, folks. And hello to those watching in the VOD and the rerun too. We see you. Thank you. Just realizing that there's dog hair through my keyboard. Oh no, I'm gonna have to clean it all. Oh, dogs. Should get ourselves in game. We're going to go into a stream squad. How are you? Hello. Dark, what up? Thirst. Good to see you. He's puppy. Oh, Auth servers are down. Wait a minute. What's going on there? I mean, online. Let's try. See if we can sneak in. I hope so. I do hope you're all well. Welcome, everybody. Got a big plan moving forward. Oh my god. Oh no! Look, that looked fine to me. Maybe Hannah snuck in time. Brr. I was on. I might have to do the terrible and just restart and see what happens. Alright, let's bring that down. I'll restart the app. We'll see what happens. Step by step. Once things are working, going to be setting up a... Oh, unable to validate. Yes, please sign in again. That doesn't look good. Alright. So what do we do? So I just quit the game. So, this stream is now proudly brought to you by Approaching Nirvana and my dog. Not the worst stream on Twitch. G'day, Airborne. I must admit, there are a couple of things we could be doing whilst this is doing this, but it'll be annoying. I do want to do a little bit of dev. Oh, I feel that, Airborne. You can get so much copper, it's crazy. All I'm saying, Sky, is facts are facts. Here we are again. Yep, can't get in. Can't find the profile. Oh, maybe I've been banned. Have I been? I don't think I've been naughty. Well, I guess there's nothing for it. Let's do a day of dev. Let's see if I can get into something. I dare say multi-MC might be able to get me in. I'm looking mainly for a 119 vanilla instance so that I can go through my resource pack selections for 119 and moving forward. Yeah, something went wrong and we can't connect to Minecraft services. Ooh, this is not good. Play offline. I'm fine with that. If we can get that to run. Just sitting here looking at a icon flash. This is exciting. At least there's a dog there. He's a good boy. Oh, I didn't read the error on the file. I was looking at the dog, and when I came back and looked, it'd gone. Might be a... I mean, in today's world, it can be any part in between. The websites are okay. Oh, what's going on here? I have a 119 instance starting. Now it's playing offline, but hey, we've got something. Yeah, we're not actually on server or anything at the moment. We can't get in, it seems. Now, what's going to be a good way for us to actually realise what's going on and where, so that we can return? But we do have at least that. Let me just check something. I still have the FTB app up and running. I'm actually doing this through CurseForge. So we'll just check to see if FTB will start. No, it won't. So we can just do that each time in theory, and we can see what's going on with the auth servers. But until then, let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. So we can minimize you. We've still got something to work with. We're gonna go on a bit of a distraction. I actually want to go over here. This is vanilla tweaks. I want to actually make the 119 packs, multiple packs, that I'll want to be using moving forward. So if we go into, oh shit, that was loud. Hang on. Oh, no, that's all right. Oh, there. So over here in resource packs, I've got vanilla tweaks 119. That's like an everything pack. The problem with an everything pack is that you might want other things. So to split up this, I've been chewing over what to do, and I think I've got a solution. What I want is one thing that's a must. Absolutely at the top, no matter what I'm doing, that's in charge. That is it. So a good example of that is the GUI. I'll always want a smoother font, no matter what. Dark user interface. I really do appreciate this because it's changing the textures rather than using a shader. Don't really care for that. On my HUD, I always have my dot crosshair. This is also important to understand in that this is not a separate texture. All these textures are on the same sheet. There is some cross-contamination of things, so some things can override another. Let's say, for example, I don't care about these. I care about that dot crosshair. But later on, I might make up an optional one, and say I have that. That could actually override that. So you really got to be a little careful with how you set it up. I think some of this changed, but I think it's still partially linked. But I want those anyway, that's fine. Oh, wither hearts, yeah, that's fine. So that's my HUD and that's my GUI. The problem is when it comes down here to fixes, because I basically want all these fixes. So they're not really all that important. Some are, like that there. That difference is real, you know, holding something and it puts it properly in your hand. So things like that I'm really wanting no matter what. No matter what the grass is, it's always going to do that. And that really comes down to fixes across the board. But then, if I do that, that's moving and changing what the buckets are. So if there's another thing out there that changes buckets, then that'll change buckets. So, that changes content, that changes placement. Now further on up, it's pretty much further on up. I don't really care what I do about this, making things quieter. Rain, droppers and dispensers, fire, portals, water, pistons, all those can just be quiet. That's no matter what. Under utility, these are, I mean, they're nice, but they're not a must. This is content. It's not really user interface, it's in-game, so really, so is that. See, that's not. No, I'm going to keep that separate. So really, peace and quiet, hard and GUI. That's all we've got in this load. So I'm going to call that, download that. Let's open the back folder. We'll call that Windows Tweaks 119 game, I guess. We're going to have 3 different parts. Hey Bearded, welcome mate. I just realised I'm on the complete wrong interface. Thank you very much, mate. Coffee. So game is going to be, actually, not game, call it must. GUI. Really, it's mostly just GUI stuff. Well, I suppose it is peace and quiet as well. But I want to reset this now. Now, I want to do something which is very much terrain. This is the main blocks, okay? Just the main things. Oh, looks like Puppy wants to go out. One moment. Oh. Where are you going to start, boy? The eternal search for the heater. Now, for the world is the main things. I mean, terrain is going to be important to this, but mostly the reason I want this separated is because of variation. So all of these are key. This is all the content in the game. Now, I'm not going to do randomly rotated sunflowers. I don't really mind the fact that they all point one direction. In fact, I quite like it. Now, the problem with that is that there are some other blocks. So this is all planks. Okay. Now, I don't know, but I think desaturated dark oak and the Purpure. Now, the Purpure won't actually affect anything with planks, but you'd think that would override it. I don't know. I might review that and test it and see. But I'll keep it in there for now. Oh, Puppy's back. So, world. Smoother planks. I don't actually want crimson or crimson. I think it's quite fine as it is. Hey, Burgess. Like, I sort of want to do hay bales, but there are mods that give you that, so maybe not. I'm tempted to do black nether bricks, but then edit the textures, but let's leave that alone for now. That's an overlay for later. Like really, and over here, smooth stones, smoother oak block, circular log tops, because that's a part of our blocks. Pebbleless dirt and coarse dirt actually clash. That one there. So I don't really, I like a little bit of these pebbles in there, especially with the variations. Fancy. See, all of these are not really the blocks. Now there is connected textures. I'm not really going to be going down that path. So I think, like if I was going to say world, that's pretty much world, you know, that's all the blocks. I really think that's it. let's just go through everything. Connected piece, utility. See, these are things you hold. This is actually a GUI change, not anything else. You could say that, but that's okay. We'll add that in. Unobtrusive, that comes in laser. Unobtrusive rain, snow, and I believe particles are all part of the GUI. I think. I'm not sure if they separated those out. All of these are not things in world, so no, I think that's it. So variations, aesthetic, and terrain. I'm going to grab this as a direct download. .119 world. And then really it's the main. Now the reason I want to split world out is because there are times I'm going to want to add and change, and I want that to be separate so I don't screw up anything else. That's just the thing I'm going to be working on. That's one of the reasons. Another one is if we want to change something, it's a smaller amount of work to look into, and that's a big thing, the size of some of these. And finally, it's because, let's say we want to use Stay True, which is a gorgeous thing. We don't want our world overriding Stay True, because that's all the beautiful blocks themselves. But we do want our GUI stuff, we want our font, we want there are things we want over that. So separating those out into layers is pretty important. This might be the world, might be at the very bottom. We might want all the other things though added in, depending upon what we use. So this is going to give us pretty much the most range in what we can actually use and split up our resource packs. Then we can use other people's stuff. And there's some great stuff out there. So now I've got this, I actually want to copy and paste, make up a whole new URL because I don't want to lose this. I want to make sure I'm working with that. So, cherry picking, sure, let's remove the center one. Different stems, I'm not going to worry about, because I have a grand plan for that for later. Hay helps fine, honey, slime. We've already got these two. We always go with vertical nuggets because softer wool I don't mind, but I think it's too soft. Brown leather is great. Sure, we can give them. If I overwrite that, it'll be because of fresh animations. So that would be going above all of this. Hey, Bill Bully, how are you, buddy? Been a while, Billy. Oh, colourful enchanting table particles, I think is part of GUI. I think I have to redo GUI. Yep, HD shield, we always want to have that there as that option. Don't like endless, I prefer the ping end. That end is important. Unique dyes is pretty much just always gorgeous. Didn't that emote mode work? God damn it. It should be on. Emoji, yes. Oh, the GamerBot doesn't know my connection. Alright, I'll have to turn that off. Let's. Robbed! We'll redeem it in a sec. Ashless Cat, I really like Ashless Campfires. It's not just good because it's accurate, it's good because you can now use them as roofs and you don't have that shitty ash thing there. That's really good. Doors and trapdoors. I like, but I do differently. So, and we'll get into that. Flint tipped arrows. I just sure bed icons. Splash bottle because it is a splash bottle. So yeah, change it into a splash bottle. It just looks like it. So yeah, the 2D is great, but I prefer the accurate. We've already addressed the planks. We don't use that. We use their normal one. Don't use this. Sure, why not? Plain leather armor. I tend to leave it alone. I do a golden crown, because why not? And classic netherite armor. I don't change the elytra. Terrain. Now, in terrain, dark oak leaves. Yeah, let's do all of that. Wavy water, wavy plants, all of these don't do. Well, you can if you want, but if you're going to be using shaders, it's a bit iffy. Bushy leaves, I actually use a different mod for that. That's right, a different resource pack for that. I like alternate bedrock. 9 the circular. It's actually quite good, but I tend to go with the shader one anyway. These are all part of world. I don't use nether. Uniform awards I don't. We've already... Oh no, that's a part here. Was that a part here? Yes. So we do fancy because it's gorgeous. I don't do taller. I do shorter grass and shorter tall grass. It's just a little bit in it. I think it really helps. White as snow, I'm fine. Now, lower sides. These lower sides we'll get back to. You can't use them and the variation. So we're going to do something about that later. Variation, there's nothing in here that we'll be using. Connected textures. I don't mind the connected bookshelves, you know, but let's not worry about that for now. That's a whole world. And it will depend upon in 19 if we use Optifine or if we use something else, depending on how we do that. So you can do some in vanilla. Peace and quiet we've already done. Utility. I've done a few of these things in the past. I don't mind these getting broken over time, but I also found it visually just confusing. That's amazing. Look at that. It shows you all the areas. The problem, oh, crazy. No borders, none of that. Visual waxed top, but this is actually quite good. This just shows you in your hand, if you've got 2 blocks and one of them is wax and the other one is not, they look the same. This just shows you visually that they're different in your GUI, but in the world they're still exactly what they are. So that's a nice little change. I love the idea of the fully aged crop marker, but to me, and the amethyst cluster marker, but to me that pulls out. I'd rather that be a visual cue done through design rather than in the exclamation mark. I love the H25 help. Mine progress bar, new. Clear banner patterns, it's great. Hunger preview, I don't worry about. Sticky piston sides, directional hoppers, all of these are lovely. I do not go down, I used to. I do not go down the clean redstone dust path anymore. That is amazing. Look at that, redstone power levels. That's amazing. I'm not needing that, but just the fact that exists, that's gorgeous. I need redstone ore because that makes sense. River levels, because sure. There is a visible tripwire. You don't do that. The compass lodestone is lovely. It just shows you the north, south, east, west. So it's got a texture. But having said that, do you want to use it as texture? because that changes it to something very specific. I don't think we need to, honestly. Brewing guide, that's a bit silly, but sure. Does that break the black GUI? Not sure. Visual honey I love. The visual cauldron I love. I don't like doing the composter. The side of a composter is a nice block to use in a build. It's nice that's there. I get that it's useful, but it breaks that use as a block. So you don't really see the cauldron used like that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that one. I don't think I need that. Visual note, block pitch, and the numbers. I mean, sure. Maybe. I don't really have a problem with that. Unobtrusive. Oh, El Grande, no. Take it back. I can see now I need to make the GUI a separate page as well, but we can get back to it. Because unobtrusive rain and snow, and I don't do the particles, but these two, yes, I do. I want scaffolding. Now, I tend to go down these paths just to make the glass clearer. That moves those streaks, but keeps the border. If you're running an Optifine or any of the CTM mods, quite literally, that's the example. So we'll be able to hook in onto that if and when and how that ever happens. But if not, it's still a change to the block. Unobtrusive scaffolding is nice, just so you can see a bit better. Unobtrusive glint, I don't really care for. The lower fire is nice. Fire gets in the way a bit, so lowering it down is a smidge. Same as the shield. Makes the shield not get in the way as much. No fog, that's fine. Translucent pumpkin overlay. No pumpkin overlay. I reckon you should have something. Let's go with translucent so you can see the edges. Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. Even that's bad. I'm just removing it. There is a ability to do the same thing with the spyglass as well. I always go with no vignette because I just don't need it. I don't go for cleaner because up the top here I go with the horizontal. I find that looks nice. Invisible totem, don't need. I don't mind the idea of like smaller things in your left offhand. That's pretty cool. Under 3D, I don't do the bookshelves only because I feel like it's too much. I do chains, I do the 3D redstone wire now. I do like that. I stop at... this is another reason why I didn't do the see-through doors, is because I want the 3D doors and the 3D trapdoors. Fungi, now I stop. I don't want lily pads. They are flat, but they're not that thick. I don't want them to be that. I want them to be thin. It's the same as the vines and the lichen. These are things that you walk through that are simple, you know. I found that if they were when they are 3D, walking through them just felt not as right as walking through them if there was nothing. So those ones specifically, I try to keep just 2D. Go to 3D stone cutter, and I'm pretty happy there. Hard we've already addressed, and we'll have to readdress. Options background, that's just the options page. There are panoramas that you can put into here, so if you want like the gorgeous geode one. Retro is old stuff. I don't even look in here anymore. Fun. I always do smiley axolotls, and so should you. Always. Colourful slime, I don't worry about. Parody. Now, in parody, the bedrock piston arms look just nicer. The bedrock boom is nicer. The kelp, the map looks better. I'm going to use the purple ender ball, and I'm pretty much stopping there. Now, some of these are worthy, some of these are interesting. We can do a whole dev stream just on terracotta. It's good, but it's also terrible. But yeah, anyway. Now, under fixes, item stitch fixing, update the observer texture. Actually, pretty much all of these. A lot of these are just those little things they never got to. So, like that GUI there, that button is cleaner. So, it's pretty much just a case of go over the lot. I don't know if this is going to override my 3D or make it better, but there is a pixel missing. They add in or changed it to make it look like a line looks more like a line. I love that fix. I love that fix. I'm actually okay with not just having wide outlines. Consistent buttons, buckets, sorry, and it's the same as the tadpole button. Cactus bottom fix. Don't worry about the helms. Pixel consistent bat. So what they've done is taken the pixels that are there on the bat on the image and made them fit the size. Basically it's re-stitching, so these look better. Pixel consistent tripwires. So all these things now look more consistent to the world. And I used to think it was just a thing that was done because it could, but it's subtle, but it's there. It's quite nice. Soul Soil for Ash. Blaze Rock fix because the bottoms aren't the same as the side, so that fixes that. Slime Particle. Don't worry about the leaves. Proper break particles. Don't eat the bowl. Becomes a problem a bit later. That's actually not compatible with smaller utilities, so you won't worry about that. We don't worry about the iron bars because we've already got that as a 3D object now. Double slab fix gives double slab variance to some blocks. Clear line of separation. Holding correct. One tiny. I think it's the colour of the handles of iron and stones. That's amazing. The hopper fix we don't need because we're already changing the hoppers. The cat fix we can do that. And the cloud fog fix don't worry about. Probably should, but don't worry about it because that's normally something that's done now in game. And also I tend to turn them off because I go straight over into shaders. But look, we'll turn it on. You know what? It'll only complicate things and I'll swear later. No, we'll turn it off. I think that's pretty much the game part of it, you know, the guts, so to speak. I'm gonna have to redo that GUI. So these are the sort of things that you might want on top of another resource pack. Maybe. Probably. Like you always want your 3D doors, you know, you always want that sort of view. I think that's about right. I'm going to direct download that. _119_ game, really. That's the guts of the game. That GUI though, we're going to have to change. Smoother font, dark UI. Under HUD, we had small rainbow pinion wither hearts. We had peace and quiet. So that was the contents of our previous set. But let's just double look at this because there were a couple of things we spotted. Variation, connected. Colourful enchanting table particles. And unobtrusive rain and snow. I think those two. I think that's it. I can actually open up this. Inside of here is a pack.mc meta and a pack.png. These are standard for Minecraft. There's also a select text that they add. Quiet rain. The dot with the hearts on. Yep. So we can get rid of GUI. This version. And that's the GUI. Alright, that should be it. Now there are a couple of others, just quickly grab those. If I go over to Curse Forge, resource packs. Now we only want 19. Might have to, well, there's a lot more coming in here now. Distant thunder sounds. Ooh. I really want to start dipping in audio. I really think it's one of those things that has been pretty much not touched a lot, and there's so much potential there. Here we go. Now, I always go for this one, Monshin's Better Leaves. Now, the reason is they've done what all the other Better Leaves do, which is great. But they also support some mods. So they support, for example, Quark. You know, that's pretty cool. So being able to not just have that effect just for one thing, but for other things, especially if we can mod it, it's nice. And they've got a structure inside there so that if they don't support something, we can do it ourselves. We basically just clone that with a mod and have a nice thing. So that's a really good one, and they've been fantastic on supporting it. Honestly, if there's a mod that we end up using that we have to extend into there, we could probably just give that to the mod author, also the resource pack author, dare say they'll probably throw it in. But in any case, we'll have our own. But that's what I use for leaves. I just found that to be just remarkable. And so from here, we've now got that zip. That was the original one. We'll get rid of that. But we want game, world, GUI, and leaves. The leaves at the top, GUI is at the top. Game. So GUI, game, and world. Should call it wine and craft. This is just so that if you are going to put something in, let's say you put that in, whereabouts does that go with our look? You know, does it overwrite the game stuff? Does it do we want it to just overwrite the world stuff? So it gives a bit more control, especially because I do want to play around with some different things. There's so many nice resource packs out there. I want to have a look at what people are doing. But that, I will actually drop these into Discord later on too, just so they're in a spot. But yeah, I do, as usual, highly recommend taking a look over here at resource packs at sense. Turns cold a black dye. You can do all of this. Rotten flesh to leather. Drop it in dispensers, so you can undo things. There's so much interesting things in here. That. Man, welcome back. Make it so you can craft all these. Some of these I do. I don't think I want the golden apple back. You know, or the name tag is tempting, you know, I've got to say. Craftable black stone. Being able to unpack ice and water. Yeah, pull the string backwards and forwards. So that's specifically crafting tweaks, but there's also data packs, and that's when things go crazy. There's a full grave system here. Like taking this and putting this on a server, my goodness. And it's still vanilla. So it's quite interesting how far you can actually go with some of these things. Armed Elytra. Craft there for at least 2, I have to say, incredible. But another day. Another day. We're going to be experimenting with some of these and testing some of these. For example, we talk about. I'll reset it. Lower sides. Now, I didn't select those because they actually break with variation. Grass, yeah. So, and that's because they call upon certain things. So, I actually want to have that as a separate download, and then integrate that into the world resource pack that we already have, so that they actually match and work correctly. Also, those lower grass, that's one. Whereas with the others, we've got like, 16 variations. So what I'd want to do is make 16 variations of lower grass. So that's not just downloading something, that's taking their variated dirt and their variated grass and actually making, 16 variants. And then incorporating that in the same way of the variations of dirt, grass, etc. So that's a long day. It's probably half code and half graphics to get that done. And that's not a lot. And when I say half code, I mean it's a scripting language. It's already been done for us. We're going to be copy and pasting that logic and just filling out our content in the right space. So, all right. Let's see if it's up. Fingers crossed. I'm happy though we've got that up and running. I've been wanting to get to that for a while. I do want to and am thinking about 1.19 in a huge way. We are loading. Oh. We are loading. All right, we are loading. That's a great sign, but we should probably take a break. While we got a chance, let's take a break. I'm going to turn this off. Oh God, Minecraft is still running. I didn't want this to happen. Come on, quickly now. Let's not. Oh no! No. Wait. It might be okay. We'll see. How is Windows 11? A couple of issues, but it's. I would say don't shift yet, but All right, that looks good. We're going to go on a break while we can. I'm just going to go over the desktop for a sec and get that running. All right. Grab a drink, grab a snack. I'll be right back.